When treating or managing outrage issues, there are numerous ideas for outrage the executive's procedures. Every one of them is planned to help individuals who are hot-tempered and oftentimes have angry outbursts. Outrage, albeit a sound and typical reaction to disturbing circumstances, it tends to be extraordinary to the mark of brutality. At the point when an individual encounters standard scenes of furious or careless conduct, there's an issue, one that should be managed. Outrage the board procedures are intended to help an individual revisitation of a solid, ordinary presence. Getting some downtime is viewed as a sound administration procedure. Eliminating oneself from a circumstance or individual that drives an individual crazy is rehearsing break. This indignation the executive's procedure may basically require a ride in the vehicle or a stroll on the seashore. Playing sports or working out will assist a person with spending a portion of the additional energy without including others. Some different ideas for break are perusing, paying attention to music, or sitting alone peacefully. Every one of these exercises are sound displeasure the board systems. A second illustration of a solid annoyance the board technique is taking ownership of the resentment. Albeit the resentment is normally welcomed on by a bothering circumstance or an encounter with another individual, the outrage really has a place with the pained individual. Just the individual who's encountering the indignation issues can handle their upheavals. Just the individual with the annoyance issues can learn outrage the board techniques and how to manage their sentiments in a sound manner. At the point when an individual becomes distraught or vexed, they need to attempt to unveil the purposes behind their indignation, whether it is harmed, dread, dissatisfaction, bitterness, disarray, envy, or whatever appears to bring release the fury. Another sound outrage the board methodology is to think back on those circumstances that furious an individual and attempt to discover approaches to make changes. Learning the reason for the outrage may assist the person with staying away from those circumstances. Not exclusively may the individual figure out how to keep away from these episodes, yet they may likewise decide to take what they've realized and endeavor to manage the circumstance without blasting into a furore. A fourth idea in regards to solid administration systems is to go up against the circumstance or individual. Converse with the individual or individuals included, smoothly, obviously, to attempt to decide the foundation of the issue. The irate individual may really find that the entire thing was a mistake, a misconception. The individual may likewise have a go at asking the individual or individuals in the circumstance to consider their conduct and maybe even change it. It very well might be astounding what individuals would do to help the individual who is endeavoring to manage their issues with outrage. Ideally, all that will turn out to be a good thing. If not, there must be space for acknowledgement. Now and then an individual should just acknowledge the circumstances and individuals they can't change and either manage it or leave. Learning sound indignation the board techniques ought to be considered by those with outrage issues. There are numerous books distributed with respect to outrage and outrage the board. There is additionally an abundance of data accessible on the internet for the individuals who are endeavoring to manage their displeasure by learning solid resentment the executive's techniques.